guys, it's coffee time. Get a handle on this spoon. That's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. There is a science, I want to say, to reheating coffee. I know that there are plenty of you who, whenever I say, oh, I microwaved my coffee, you feel a little bit sick in your heart place. But I've got it down to a science now. Because you can't just put it in there for a predetermined amount of time, regardless of how much coffee you drank earlier, right? Because then, if you have too little coffee in there, and you put it in there for, say, a minute, depending on how hot your microwave is, maybe it'll turn scalding, maybe it'll burn it to the point that it just tastes disgusting. You have to think about these things. But I am trained. I'm a trained person. I had very little coffee left in this mug, I'm not going to lie to you. And I was like, well, I could drink it pretty much room temperature, or I could reheat it. So I reheated it, and I'm happy to say that 30 seconds in the microwave of that much coffee turned into a perfect heating time. Yes. So I have a dilemma today. It's one of those, like, costume, sewing, clothing dilemmas. I'm wearing my hood today because I love this hood. This is my favorite hoodie. I found this at a thrift store already with the sleeves cut and everything. And when I originally saw it, I thought that hood is very, very interesting. I like that a lot. And when I tried it on in the little fitting room, I put the hood up and I thought, I have to get this if only for the hood. It also says wild fox on it. Foxes are my favorite animal. So poof, it all just worked out. It's like the perfect thing for me, and I wear this all the time, mostly in the mornings. So now we reach this new point in my life where I'm thinking to myself, I would love to make my own hoodie. That's something I've wanted to do for a while, but I've just never taken the time to do it. And I thought, I have a kind of hoodie that has the perfect sort of hood for me. The sort of hood that I want out of all of my hoodies. But you have this dilemma where when you want to make the pattern for your hoodie, and some of you have probably done a lot more sewing than I have, or at least you are more trained about it. I worked in a costume shop, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not one of the seamstresses. I've done a decent amount, but I am not trained per se. A lot of things I just jankball learned how to do or taught myself, which is why I don't do a whole lot of actual fabric costume making. I did so many props, so much costume crafts, things that are not clothing, basically. All of the other things that a person would wear. Ah, you need horns? I can make those for you. You need wings? I can make those for you. A hat? Sure. A belt? I got you. But when it comes to like this sort of stuff, that's where it has to be something that I have done a few times before I can say, I know how to do that. That's why that t-shirt resizing video, I have resized t-shirts many times. So I felt comfortable making a t-shirt resizing video. By the way, if you've never seen that video and you want to know where it is, I'll put a link in the description for you. But, yeah, so I'm sitting there, imagine me, just imagine it. So my closet is all mirror, right? Mirror closet. Okay, so imagine me with this on, looking super intense, staring into the mirror, and just like doing lots of this, like going back and forth and looking at it, because my options at this point are either, I feel like I have so many hairs on my face, and it's probably because I hugged the cat earlier. The options that you would have are you either try to flatten out the piece that you would want. So like you look at the seam lines, right? It's just it's two pieces put together. Seam line, all the way to the back, and then seam line. So this is one piece, this is one piece, and then suddenly you have a hood and it's magical. So you try to like flatten that out and see if you can get the shape and then cut it out of paper and figure out what the seam allowance would be and all of that. But unfortunately, sometimes you can't flatten it out to the point that you're entirely sure. And this should be so easy, but for some reason, because it's all flowy and big, it confuses me. And I don't know what to do about it, because the only other option would be like ripping this apart, and that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I think what's going to happen. I think what I'm going to wind up doing about it is doing practice hoods. So if at some point I'm wearing 8 hoods at the same time on this show, you know that was the day. that I just made 8 hoods until I perfected it. My life. Welcome. I hope you enjoy being here. I started cleaning off my bed. It still looks like there's so much stuff on there. I promise you, this is such an improvement. There was like a pile, remember, it was like a pile of clothes all along one half of my bed that had honestly been collecting for like a month there, and I kept thinking to myself, I need to clean this off, I need to do laundry, I need to clean this off, I need to put things away, and I just never did it. So today, I finally did it. I finally put things away, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing laundry right now. The bags that were just sitting over there, I figured out where they go. I put them away. I unpacked my suitcase from when we were in England. I've done so many things today. Proud of myself. And this morning, I was watching a bunch of Draw My Lifes. I don't know if you've ever seen those. The one that made me like really sad was Jenna Marbles's. I watched hers and I was like, this is filled with so many feelings. Most of the time they have a lot of like feelingsness to them, but some of them are just funny or terrifying. But I love watching those. I've loved those for a while, and I mentioned it on Twitter, and a bunch of people were like, you should do one! So I'm planning on doing that. But I need like a whiteboard or something. Maybe I'll just do it on a notepad. Yeah, that could happen. But I don't want the lines to make it confusing. So I'll get like a blank notepad and then do it on that maybe. That would be fun. I'd like that. Yeah. For those of you who don't know what Draw My Lives are, they're like videos where a person tells kind of like a shortened version of their life story and has a sped up video of them drawing out everything that they're saying. And they're really cute, they're really moving, and I don't know, I like them a lot, so I figure, why not do one? That would be fun. While I was eating lunch today, I watched another episode of House of Cards. That show just gets, not in terms of quality or the storyline, but I hate stories where, and somebody, after I was moaning about this, a friend of mine said you should never watch 6 Feet Under because it does this. But this show makes me love somebody and then hate them and then love them and then hate them over and over again. Or there's a character who has a lot of growth and then they backslide and then they grow and then they backslide. And I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating. It's the most frustrating thing ever. Drives me insane. And apparently, I don't know, you guys can attest whether or not this is true. Apparently, 6 Feet Under is much the same. So, there's that. I've only watched the first episode of 6 Feet Under, and I didn't really like it all that much, honestly. It didn't really capture me, I guess. It didn't make me want to keep watching. So I just haven't continued my 6 Feet Under journey. But at the same time, I'm the sort of person where something has to be really good for me to care about watching more than just a few episodes. It's the same with books. I am a very specific media ingester because that's one of the reasons that I never finish books, because books lose me completely really quickly. It does not take long for me to be bored with a book. And then with shows, I'll normally watch like 3-4 episodes at the most, and then I'll go and move on and do something else. Did I tell you about what movies I watched on the plane? I'm trying to remember. I sat down to watch 7 Psychopaths because I really wanted to watch that movie. And it was a huge letdown. I couldn't even finish it. And then I watched Argo. And Argo was good, but didn't have as much drama as I was expecting, I guess. Like, I don't know. The conflict was obvious, but I expected there to be more to the movie, and there just wasn't. And then I watched Rise of the Guardians. Tumblr has been all about Rise of the Guardians for a while now, and I finally watched it. It's, like, pretty awesome. I really liked it. I don't know what I was expecting it to be, but it wound up being soups cute, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that more than Hotel Transylvania. I only bring that up because I watched Hotel Transylvania on a plane as well, and I believe, I think that I complained about that movie to you guys, Hotel Transylvania. It was cute. I liked watching it. Yeah. But there were reasons that I really disliked it, and I'm not going to repeat them in case I've already said it. But yeah, there were good movies that I watched on there. But the reason I talk about the plane is because the plane is one of those places where you're like, well, I can either sit here silently or play a game on my device that's going to die while I'm in the air, depending on how long this plane flight is, or I can utilize this system that is being given to me and watch some movies. So I watched some movies. That's normally what I do to get through those really long plane flights, is I just watch movie after movie after movie. And I can say reasonably that Seven Psychopaths is not a good movie. Even though I really wanted it to be. Argo is a good movie, and Rise of the Guardians is a good movie. So go ahead and check those out. Boom! Look at what we've done. Oh, also, when I was talking about House of Cards, I was talking about the American version, not the British version. Yes. I realized that there are two possibilities, so I figured I'd make that more specific. But yeah, anywho, that's what I did today. But I hope that you guys had a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah!